Hello students, Professor Geoffrey here, and today we are going to be looking at the simple present tense versus the present progressive, or as we call it in British English, the present continuous tense. So let's have a look at the pattern of these two tenses. In the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb. That is the verb without to at the start of it. So to walk, to talk, to sleep. We remove the to and we are left with walk, talk, sleep. Don't forget, of course, that when the personal pronoun is he, she, or it, then we need to use the third person singular. We will add an S to the verb. So it becomes he walks, she talks, it sleeps. We also use singular for count nouns and non-count nouns. Okay, the present continuous is the verb to be plus the ing gerund form of the verb. So the forms are am, are, or is. So of course we use am for I am, you, we, they, and you plural are, and he, she, it is. When do we use them? Well, the simple present tense, believe it or not, is for an action that is repeated, something which is a habit or a routine. So if you look at the timeline, this middle line here, horizontal, represents now. The vertical line represents now, and the horizontal line to the left is the past, and the horizontal line to the right is the future. So we have this repeated action which has been going on since yesterday, or could be 2 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 10 years ago. If it's something that you do every day, it's continually repeated into the present and will be continually repeated into the future. When do we use the present continuous? Well, surprisingly, we are taught that the present continuous is for an action that is occurring now in the present. But there are occasions when the boundaries become a little blurred. Listen to this example. I'm reading a good book at the moment. Okay, now I'm reading a good book at the moment can mean I'm reading a good book right now at this minute. But it can also mean I started reading a good book last week. I'm continuing to read it at the moment, and I will continue to read it in the future until I finish the book. So we have this familiar kind of present perfect scenario where an action has started in the past, but in this case it's continuing to the present and will continue into the future. Remember, the present perfect tense is for a completed action in the past when we don't know, or it's not important to mention when it happened. So, present continuous. Time markers that we use to identify whether a sentence is going to be in the simple present tense or whether it's indeed in the present continuous. Time markers: every day, every week, every month, every year, etc., etc., etc. More time markers: once, twice, 3 times. Could be the song, once, twice, 3 times a lady. So once a week, twice a month, 5 times a year, etc. Adverbs of frequency are often used with the simple present tense, where we have always. I always walk to work. I almost always walk to work. I often walk to work. So we can use any of these adverbs of frequency, usually, sometimes, never, seldom, rarely. And time markers for the present continuous are these: now, right now, these days, nowadays, today, at the moment, at this time, currently, and presently. So let's look at a couple of examples. My son always brushes his teeth. He brushed his teeth every day. So when yesterday was the present, he brushed his teeth. He continues brushing his teeth every day up until the present, today, and he will continue brushing his teeth into the future as well. It's a repeated action or a routine. The difference with the present continuous tense is the students are reading now, right at this moment. At the moment, the boss is talking. No, you can't talk to the boss because at the moment he is talking. He isn't doing his homework. Now, this could have two meanings. It could mean that he isn't doing his homework in general, in which case I'm sure you'll get a call from his teacher advising you that he isn't doing his homework. And it can mean that he isn't doing his homework right at this particular moment, at this particular time. So be careful with this one. Do you usually study after school? This is a question in the interrogative, and we use the auxiliary verb do to make the question. Do you usually is the adverb of frequency, which tells us that it's going to be in the present simple tense or the simple present tense. Do you usually study after school? Now remember, when we have a do you question, the answer is always going to be yes or no. Yes, I usually study after school. No, I don't usually study after school. Are you listening to me? This is a question in the present continuous tense. So we have the verb to be are you? Remember, you are, we reverse to make the question. Are you listening to me? Again, this is a yes/no question. You can answer yes or no. It's not polite just to use one-word answers, so try to put some, as we say, meat on the bone of your answer. So are you listening to me? No, I'm not listening to you. Are you listening to me? Yes, I am listening to you. Okay, it's always better to give a full answer. And here we have what are known as non-action verbs or stative or stative verbs, depends on your preference for the pronunciation. So non-action verbs almost never take an ing form. There are some exceptions. I'll explain those in a moment. But if you look at these non-action verbs, what do we mean by non-action? They are verbs that are not an action. Most verbs are an action or a doing word. So walk is an action verb, but a non-action verb would be any of these categories: a state of being, a possession, feelings and needs, thought, and the senses. So we have be, seem, appear, exist under states. Under possession, we have, own, and possess. Remember, I own this phone, but it is not an action to own it. It's a possessive state. Feelings and need, like, love, hate, feel, want, need, prefer, wish. But you say, hang on a minute. Every time I go to McDonald's and I see on the burger wrapping, I see on the milkshake cup, it says, I'm loving it. Yes, but this is not grammatically correct unless you understand loving to mean something else, and I'll explain that to you in a moment. But no, it's not grammatically correct, because here we have feelings and needs, and it says that we don't use love in the present continuous. McDonald's get around it by saying that it has another meaning, and for that we'll look at a couple of examples. So, I am a student is correct. We would use the present simple tense for this, or simple present if you prefer to call it that. I am being a student is a no-no. He has a dog. He is having a dog. It's a no-no. However, he is having a shower is acceptable when you understand that in Britain, we normally say I'm having a bath, I'm having a shower, when we mean I'm taking a shower. Yeah. To us, it seems silly to say I'm taking a shower, yeah, because the next question is, oh, really, where are you taking it to? But so we normally say I'm having a shower. The children like pizza. We don't say the children are liking pizza. Again, we come to this McDonald's type. Yeah, oh, I'm liking it. Oh, the children are loving pizza. No, the children love pizza. My sister wants a new car. My sister is wanting a new car. I think that winter is the best season. Now, normally we wouldn't use I am thinking that winter is the best season. However, you've heard the phrase, I'm thinking of buying a new car. Yeah, but the thinking means I'm deciding upon, yeah, whether to buy a new car or not. So we can use it, but the meaning is implied to be something different. And don't worry if this seems strange to you as a foreigner learning English for the first time. You will find that when native English speakers get together, that there is a lot of the English that is implied, and as a native speaker, you understand the correct meaning. And I'm sure in your own language, you may have some similar instances to that, where if I were to learn your language, maybe I would struggle with the concept too. I see a stain on my shirt. I am seeing a stain on my shirt. Again, we tend not to use it. Coming down further now, here are some grammar notes that will help you distinguish the present simple tense or simple present tense and the present progressive or present continuous tense. Simple present is also used for true facts and schedules. The Earth's temperature increases every year. This is a true fact, so we use the simple present because it is a true fact that is always true. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius is also a true fact. Most plants grow in the spring and summer. Again, a true fact. But look, the bus leaves at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, hold on a minute. That's in the future. Why are we using the present simple tense or simple present tense? We are using it because it is scheduled event due to take place. So for schedules and timetables, it is correct to say the bus for London departs at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. It arrives at 8 o'clock in the evening, for instance. It departs, it arrives. Third person because the bus is a thing, it. My favorite TV show starts at 8 p.m. Yeah, so you could be reading this in the morning and 8 p.m. at night is in your future. So again, it's because it's a schedule. So try to think of it as the simple present timetable tense. Yeah. Note number 2, we have the present progressive or continuous can have a future meaning. It's commonly used for near future actions, actions that will happen very soon. So it is correct to say, I am going to Australia next weekend. Okay, that's a fairly up and coming, going to be a recent occurrence. My friend is moving on Friday. The students are graduating in 3 days. and we are seeing a movie tonight. Now remember, from the non-action verbs, see is one of the senses. So how can we use it in this? Because what we mean is we are going to watch a movie, but we normally say we are seeing a movie tonight. So here, look, this asterisk. For movies and plays at a theatre, it is common to use the non-action verb see instead of the action verb watch for the future time. And then the last one, some non-action verbs can take an ing form. These are the exceptions we talked about, but the meaning of the verb usually changes. So if you say, I am having pizza for dinner, remember we can't use have normally in the continuous form, but here we can. Why? Because having means eating. We are having fun. Having equals experiencing. My sister is having a baby. Having equals giving birth to. And are you seeing anyone? In this instance, seeing means are you dating someone? I am thinking of buying a new car. Remember, thinking is deciding or planning. So these, when it takes on the new meaning, these are action verbs. So it is quite normal for native English speakers to use these when talking to one another. So you need to bear that in mind. So there we go. This is the simple present versus the present progressive. And I hope you've enjoyed that. The idea of making these short videos, giving you the grammar introductions to the lessons, is that they will be put on YouTube, and I will give the students a link to the video so that you can go there. You can study this as your homework, and then during the lesson time, we will go through the exercises together, because I believe this is where you need the most help. It's no use me running through the running through the lesson with you and then expecting you to do the exercises on your own without any help whatsoever. So this is what's known in the trade as a flipped classroom, where we do the study as the homework and we do the homework as the lesson. I hope you enjoy this concept. So I hope to bring you a lot more of these type of instructional videos in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this one. So for me, Professor Geoffrey, bye-bye for now.